In this video, we're going to talk about our third parenting principle. Here it is. Every kid needs praise. This is a really important principle as a follow-up to our second parenting principle, which is discipline is not optional. They work in tandem together. It's very important for your kids as they're being disciplined and corrected for wrong behavior that they're also praised for good behavior. So this third parenting principle is really important, and it works in conjunction with the balance of discipline and praise, that your kids understand that you love them. More than anything, you love them. And that's why sometimes you have to discipline them. But they may not feel as much love from you when you're angry and frustrated and have to punish them for something. But they certainly then, after they've just been disciplined, they can be hugged and said, I love you, and because I love you, I have to discipline. So this third principle is really important as parents, that we understand that our kids need praise. They need to hear things like, I love you, I'm proud of you, you're smart, you're beautiful, you're handsome, you're really good at this, that, or the other. There should be no question in your kids' minds that they are special to you, that they are loved by you, and you should always do that. There's never too much praise to be given to our kids. God models this for us. Let's look at Matthew and see how he spoke about his son, Jesus. After his baptism, as Jesus came up out of the water, the heavens were opened, and he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and setting on him. And a voice from heaven said, This is my dearly loved Son, who brings me great joy. Do you notice what happens in that passage? God's audible voice saying, This is my Son, who brings me great joy. Even God made a point to say, Jesus is my son. He gave him value. He gave him recognition for who he was in his life. And he said, who brings me great joy. And I think that's important, parents, for us to remember that our kids should know, first of all, that they are precious possessions to us, that there's no one else in the world like them, that they're very important, they have great value, but that they also bring us joy. And I think sometimes, especially parenting in the earlier years and early grade school and toddler years when they're constantly testing boundaries, that it's easy to always be in the mode of correction and discipline and saying no and being stern. But to recognize that our kids need to know that they bring us great joy. So in the days that things are going well, and when there's great obedience going on, and our kids are in a good mood, and you're in a good mood, to really take advantage of those opportunities to just let your kids know, just like God said about Jesus, that you're special, you have value, and you bring great joy in our lives. Here's another thing. Don't just praise in generalities. Don't just think saying, I love you or you're swell is good enough. Be very specific, intentional about the things that you say as praise for your kids. Really look at it and think about the specific, unique qualities of each of your kids and make sure you pinpoint those and you highlight those and you praise those. That you don't just say, I'm proud of you, that you say, I'm proud of you for this and for this and for this. Or when you see your child do something kind for a sibling or how they handled a situation at school, that you would make a point to say, I love how you handled yourself there, or I'm so proud of you that you chose to be obedient. Whatever, but make sure that your praise is more than just generalities. Make sure it's specific, that it's authentic and that it's real, that your kids know that your praise isn't just some rote response that you just give every day, but that it's something that you take time to really think about and highlight specific, awesome things about your kids. A great practical way to practice more authentic praise, remember the 3 T's of talk, time, and touch. So just to highlight those for a few minutes, make sure that with your words that you speak words of praise, right? That's kind of the more obvious one, that you say those words of I love you, I'm proud of you, you're amazing, really using your words and making sure that your kids know and could pinpoint specific things that you say to them on a daily basis that show that you love them and that you want to praise them and add value to them. That next area then is with your time. Time is another important way that more in a nonverbal way communicates how much you value and love your kids. And that's that you would set aside special time with each of your kids to do a hobby that they enjoy, shooting hoops, throwing the baseball, doing a puzzle. Maybe there's a favorite TV show that you could enjoy together, but that you would show your kids that you want to set individual time to spend time with them, to talk to them about how things are going in their life, and just to show their value by you saying, this time is set aside just for you. And to do that for each and every one of your kids separately is a really great way to show praise and love and affirmation for your kids. And the last one then is touch, affection. Make sure that you show love with touch. Now, as your kids get a little older, that might change a little bit what they're comfortable with, but make sure that you're always willing to give a hug, to put your arm around them, to pat them on the head, give them a kiss on the head before they go to bed at night. Just make sure that they know that by the way you are affectionate with them, that you love them, that you value them, and that they're the most special thing in your life. As parents, we want to do our best to raise our kids, and we want to make sure that that our kids know that we love them. And sometimes that can be hard when you're in the day-to-day thing of life and you're in the grind and you're frustrated by things that they're doing, or there's just not enough time to get everything done. But don't forget how important it is to stop, slow down, and make sure that your kids know how much you love them. That's going to be so important for them as they grow.